The Honourable House Leader for the New Democratic Party.
Mr. Speaker, my question is for the Premier. On February 5th, 11 months into the pandemic, the former Premier acknowledged for the first time the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on women. To address this, he announced a $5 million contribution, a gift, to a venture capital fund. We know that a $5 million investment in childcare would increase our provincial GDP by more than $11 million and create 234 direct and indirect jobs. Mr. Speaker, will the Premier finally acknowledge, will this Premier acknowledge, that we are in a she-cession and tell Nova Scotians what, if any, immediate action will be taken to address it?
The Honourable Premier.
Yes, I'll definitely acknowledge that we are in a she-cession. This recession has impacted women far more than men. Mr. Speaker, it's different than past recessions where it's hit industrial activity more. This is hitting a lot of our service sectors. It's hitting a lot of employment where we have predominantly women working. The childcare issue is one that I care about very much. I do believe in universal childcare, Mr. Speaker. That's why it was mentioned in the throne speech as a priority to start that conversation, to see how we can leverage that priority of the federal government. But I also support helping women in their entrepreneurial pursuits. I think that we can do both. I don't think that it is one or the other. I think that a conversation has to be had with childcare and improving how we subsidize childcare. When we came into government, childcare workers themselves were the lowest paid in the country. We raised them up. We've invested year over year in how to subsidize that more, and we're going to continue to invest in childcare to support women and parents overall in the province. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable House Leader for the New Democratic Party.
Mr. Speaker, considering that Nova Scotia was the only province in the country not to provide childcare for essential workers, and considering the former Premier's belief that childcare occurs organically, you can't blame us for our cynicism. In the throne speech, the government indicated, as the Premier just mentioned, that they would work on a comprehensive national childcare strategy. Pre-primary just isn't enough. But, Mr. Speaker, federal and provincial liberal governments have been promising to deliver universal childcare for decades. It was promised in 1993, it was promised in 2004, and it was promised in 2011. The parents of the children in my community who will lose 2 regulated childcare providers serving over 75 families by July because of the destabilization of the sector can't wait another 30 years. Mr. Speaker, will this Premier commit to investing in a universal, affordable, public system of childcare in this budget?
The Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And actually, we were the only province during the pandemic that invested in childcare to keep the childcare sector whole when we had restrictions come on and we weren't able to use the capacity at the childcare centres. So we do support the sector. We're going to continue to support that sector, and the federal government has stated priorities in this area. That makes me very optimistic that we can have that conversation to ensure that if we are going to invest towards universal health care system, because I do think that is the next step for our social safety net. Pre-primary is a good program that both opposition parties voted against, but we did support that program. It's the largest social program to help people in Nova Scotia in my lifetime. So as we move forward, we're going to have to look at ways that we continue to subsidize for those that aren't at the age of 4. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.